obviously. There is no red phazon suit in the game. And there she blows. This, boys and girls, is Metroid Prime. And this boss fight is actually truly epic. I really like how this boss fight is designed. Maybe a little too long, like one too many phases maybe. You'll see what I mean as we go through the fight. First thing we're going to do, of course, is scan Metroid Prime. Actually, I don't think we can scan her in this room. Samus is going to jump down after her. Booyah! Alright, let's get in there. There it is, Metroid Prime. Now, here's how the fight works. Is Metroid Prime turns colors just like your guns. And whatever color she is, that's the gun she's weak to at the moment. And her attacks also mirror the gun that you're using, basically. You know what? I'm just not having any luck hitting her with a super missile. I think I just was not close enough in. Because she does juke quite a lot. Now she's going to change to wave mode. And we're not going to wave buster her, I don't think. And we really don't want to be close to that beam because we'll lose our lock on. That's an electric beam. It screws up Samus's systems, kind of like a Bombu does. Nope, it just happened, and I lost my lock on. Once that goes away, and the HUD comes back, we can lock back on. So the goal of the fight is just to watch what color she is, and then match that beam. And every couple of hits, she descends into another room. So it's a really cool fight that really makes you use all of your stuff. Because each beam has strengths and weaknesses, and it's a matter of figuring out, okay, if I want to hit her with a super missile, I'm going to have to get in kind of close. Because the super missile does not home very finely. This one's got grooves in the floor, because now she's going to do a dash attack. What color are you now? Purple? I can do purple. Totally do purple. There you go. It's really easy to hit her with the wave beam. I guess if you got really, really close, you could do a wave buster shot. But, again, he uses a lot of missiles. I guess I'm not considering missiles for anything at this point, but you gotta be really close. I don't want to get that close to her. Let's go ahead and, beautiful. One more shot today? What are you doing now? Now we're doing ice, and we're going to use the ice spreader here. If I could hit, you got to get in nice and close to get that ice spreader shot. There we go. That should do it in, yeah, one shot with the ice spreader. That uses 10 missiles, but worth it, I think. And she's down to the next floor. And we're hot on her tail. So this room is going to be like the similar room, except, no, it's still got 3 grooves in the floor. Alright, but she might, yep, she's doing plasma mode. We need to boost beam away from that attack. Boost beam? There's no boost beam, it's a boost ball. These things we need to kill. So what we need to do here is kill these things while still paying attention to what she's doing over there. Like I'm locking on to them, but I'm kind of paying more attention to her than anything. But the reason these guys are cool is because they will actually drop pickups. And then it's just a matter of getting there with some charge shots. I don't know if charge plasma or rapid fire plasma is better here. But she's got her own plasma beam. You can see what she's doing on there. Oh wow, I ended up in the other groove. She bowled a spare. Oh, she wants this ice spreader again. I think the worst attack she can do, honestly, is probably in ice beam form if she releases 2 little ice beam, like tracking ball guys. I think that's the worst it gets. get in on top of these grooves here. That should be close enough to super missile in the face. Beautiful. Must be getting close to done with this phase. What color are you now, honey? Purple, eh? You know what? We are going to wave buster you. I said I wasn't, but I am. Yeah, you didn't like that. You know what? That's actually not bad. I was expecting that to be way worse than it was. Getting close in, but I guess the constant damage, you don't have to be there for long. She recoils, and the whole time she recoils, she's still going to take a little bit of damage, so... But every phase of the fight, she'll change faster and faster. This is the worst attack I think she can do. Because hitting these little guys with your slowest beam... And while I was paying attention to the beam, I wasn't paying attention to her, and... Oh, there's really one more! Ah! Okay, that's what happens if you let these friggin' guys live. There's not a lot to killing them. You just gotta stay on top of it, you know? Should I wave buster here? I'm not gonna, because this... I don't want to be wave bustering when these guys come out. Oh my goodness! I didn't think she could do that twice in a row so quickly. Eat it! Eat it! I just said I wasn't going to do this, but I lied. Oh, you changed. You didn't take enough recoil damage. Lobbing the bombs at me. I did say I played this game on hard mode, and that hard mode in Metroid games is usually not very fun. And this fight is so difficult on hard mode. It's like so incredibly hard. I think I was stuck on it for like 2 days, even with all the items and everything. Bounced off her forehead. That just didn't hit. I'm just gonna shoot a lot. No, we're not. That wasn't enough to get him. Oh my god. What happened here? Okay, I see what happened here. She frost beamed me as that power ball dude got really close. I just switched from this beam, and you want it again? Make sure that thing dies this time. There we go. You can see my strategy in this fight is just tank a lot of damage. So on hard mode, when everything, I don't know, like everything has so much more damage on hard mode, you really couldn't afford to take a lot of these hits. I think I just had to replay the fight until I got lucky. My strategy being what it is. Alright, I like the ice form the best, even though that has the worst balls. Because one hit. It's all it takes is that one hit. Is this the last phase? Let's see. Subchamber 4, 3, 2, 1. I think this is it. So when we go down here, we're going to scan her one more time. This is the only creature in the game that needs to be scanned twice, because she's got 2 very distinct forms. So once we're down here, we're going to go ahead and scan her one last time, and then I should get a pop-up saying, 100% of all the scans, Brickroad. I'm a game from 2002 and I know your name. Except it probably won't sing it like that. I don't know if this game has any rhythm. There it is. 100% of all logbook scans. We're good to go. So, what we have to do here is lock onto her, charge up, and basically just chill. This is the only attack she has. That's it. That's all she does. She's got that lunge attack. She's going to create that thing in the ground there. We got to go stand in that. And if you stand in it... Oh, where'd it go? It's over here. Give this hyper mode! So we stand in the puddle phase on. We turn to whatever visor she's feeling today. because she can only be seen by one of the 3 visors: X-ray, combat, or thermal. And that's it. This is the whole fight. And this is what I said. I think she has a little too much health. I think this fight takes just a little bit too long for what it is. Because it doesn't get more complicated. She doesn't have any other attacks. You can't do anything until she makes another Phazon puddle. And the Phazon puddles are tiny, and you've got to be standing right in them to get that hyper mode. And as we've established, it's kind of difficult to see where Samus's feet are a lot of the times in the game. Like, sometimes I think I'll be standing in the puddle, but I'm really nowhere near it. And we're really just at her mercy, however long she wants to take. There's one. So we're going to go in here, kill those Metroids. Oop. Where'd she go? There she is. Okay. Oh, we didn't get a very good hit off that one, though. Metroids kind of got in the way. One of them dropped a power bomb, though. That's nice of them. So you really can't even lose this fight. Oh, there's still... No, that's not a real... That's not a good puddle. That's a bad puddle. There's still some puddle left? The puddles will only last for a few seconds. And she puts up Metroids to guard them. And... I don't know where she is. We gotta find her. There she is. I got like no damage off that phase. I really should just make sure that I'm staying in whatever visor she likes. This moment. Like that's my mistake, because I'm trying to take care of the Metroids first and then find her afterwards. I need to find her immediately and then get in the puzzle and deal with the Metroids if they're in the area. Because she can make any of the 3 kinds of Metroids. There's regular Metroids, Hunter Metroids, and then the really terrible Fission Metroids. All 3 of them can be, my god, what's happening here? All 3 of them can be taken out with power bombs, and the fission ones are the ones that are really terrible. Those are the ones that are so tanky and hard to kill. I've seen some players in this game, and like walkthroughs and things will tell you to use the hyper mode to take down the Metroids. But anytime I try to do that, they latch onto me, and then you can't shoot them. So I'm like, you know what, whatever, just roll and power bomb and take care of them that way. They were nice enough to drop a couple power bombs, but it's another reason you don't want to use up all your power bombs in the climb into this area. I think she's going to go to regular visor next. I think maybe she cycles. Yeah, there she goes. But I do think it's kind of cool how one form of Metroid Prime makes use of all the beams, and then the second form makes use of all the visors. I just think this one, because it takes so long just to figure out what to do, really. And I think once you figure out what to do, the fight should go really quickly. I think if I were to design this, I would like give her maybe 60% of the health and make the puddles last a little bit longer. So once the player figures out what to do, like make her give just a little more health than one puddle can deal damage. You know what I mean? So you can't just, as a fluke, accidentally win the fight and not know. You really have to know what you're doing, and then do the puzzles at least twice. So these are Hunter Metroids here. There you go. There you go. Have some of this. Have some of that for Christmas. But as it is, I think you need like 3 or 4 perfect puddles, and we've had a couple of imperfect ones. Either that, or make the later phases of the fight more interesting. Like, whether she's in X-ray, thermal, or combat mode, give her different attacks that you have to dodge. Or make the Phazon puddle like a reaction to something you do. Like, you've got to deal a certain amount of damage to her in this form. She's going to go to thermal next, I think. Excuse you? I'm not in the puddle. I'm not sure if I'm in the puddle or not. It kind of like... Oh, no, we killed it. I was like, am I in the puddle? Am I not? I was like stepping back and forth. Getting weird feedback there. But that's it. She's thrashing around. We have sent Metroid Prime into oblivion. Just a brain and a sack of jelly with some, gross tentacles. And I like this scene a lot, how she just yanks the Phazon. Like, it's so desperate for more just Phazon. Like, it's been nurtured on it, and it just corrupted by it. And the only Phazon in the room it hasn't already internalized is what's inside of Samus's suit. Which she got, by the way, after the corrupted Omega Pirate fell over and kind of atomized on top of her. They don't make you play the escape sequence in this game. It's just this cool little cinematic. And you might, believe it or not, this was a huge, huge criticism of the game back in the day. I talked to so many people back in 2002, 2003 that hated that this game did not have an escape sequence at the end. Because every Metroid game before this had an escape sequence at the end. Except Metroid 2 had an escape sequence, but you weren't really escaping, you were just leaving. You had a leaving sequence. But yeah, it's hard to know now because this series is so well regarded. Retro did such a good job with it. And I know I didn't like 2 and 3, but a lot of people did. A lot of people thought the whole trilogy was good. And then the Wii release of the trilogy, they thought that was good with the aiming controls and whatever. But no, back in the day, a lot of people were very critical about just little dumb things. And I think, like, looking back, it feels like some people were just very intent to hate the game because it was so different than every other Metroid game. And I was one of those people. I really, truly was. In the months leading up to this game's release, I mentioned this in the first video, I'm going to talk about it again. Metroid Prime and Metroid Fusion came out the same day. There was like weird connectivity stuff between the two, like you can import the Fusion suit into this game. And in the run-up to the games, I'm like, I'm going to hate this first-person game. I'm going to buy it because it's Metroid, and I want to try it. But I know I'm going to hate it, and the one I was really looking forward to was Metroid Fusion. And I played both, and Metroid Prime, even with all the differences, the 3D worlds, the kind of linear item progression, all the backtracking, the big artifact hunt, the first-person shooter genre, the beam swapping instead of stacking, all of these differences. This game gets to the very heart of what makes the old Metroid games really good. The exploration in this game was fantastic. All of the design choices they made of how they designed Samus's HUD and all those little details that I was talking about, like how you can see her hand inside of her gun, how things will splash onto the visor, how the world is laid out and connected. It's all just funneling the player into this mindset of just being lost in this world. And then as you're finding yourself, as you're getting oriented, you're finding the bits and pieces of data left by the Chozo and the pirates, and you're not being guided through it. You're not being handheld. You've got to take what you learn from the Chozo and from the pirates and put it together to see what it all means. You have to explore the story as well as the world and your mechanics. That is such a good way for a Metroid game story to come across. Prime does it the best in the series, and I think that is this game's legacy. And even though it was reviled at the time by naysayers like myself who were like, first person Halo, what? This is the one that carried on the torch in the Metroid series. And Fusion didn't. Oh, I am delighted that I got a chance to play Metroid Prime for you guys. I cannot articulate how much I've enjoyed going back to this game and how surprised I am at how well it holds up. I thought it was going to be this archaic experience from 15 years ago, and I was going to be like, I'll put up with it, I guess. Nope, it was just like putting on old shoes. They slipped right on. The game was comfortable. It felt nice. Loved going through it. Percentage complete, 100% in 6 hours and 46 minutes. Not the best time in the world, but I'm not a speedrunner, and I never claim to be. Guys, thank you so much for watching Metroid Prime. I will see you next mission. Shoutouts to PokeDude for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.